So one example I was thinking of is Facebook. So if you think about Facebook, it's very fun and engaging, not only because it has your friends on it, but there are games associated with it. And now Facebook is integrated with a lot of other apps. So like if you're logging in to another application on the web, like Weight Watchers, you can actually log in via Facebook. So you can have that universal experience of the internet really without ever leaving Facebook. So they're creating a very clean and hip, and they're constantly changing their environment. They know a lot about you, so they can contextually serve up ads. Without you having to click on anything, this information comes to you. So that's an example of great consumer app interactive software. And with our EHR and EMR software, we just start, because it's extremely complex, it's a lot more complex than what you're trying to do on Facebook, and there are a bunch of privacy and security concerns around PHI. We have a lot of workflow limitations. They're just a little clunky. I think as we get better with software design, and especially the user experience, the usability component, it'll come. I just don't think we're quite there yet in the evolution of these types of applications. Well, I would say that spectrum is still from 0, the least educated, to 10, the most educated. I think there's people at every part of that spectrum. And what you tend to find is that the smaller ambulatory practice is the least educated. They're the most isolated in the sense that they're not part of a big company with a lot of corporate educational, assets. Plus they're busy heads down seeing as many patients as they can see in that calendar day. So they're the least educated about what is the program, do I qualify for the program, and then do I even want to participate. Now if I do, I've got so many choices in an EHR, there's a second level of education there. So they're down at the spectrum. I think what's worked really well is the hospital owned and hospital affiliated, where they're basically looking to the hospital and saying, whatever you use, I'll use, right? So it really is a wide spectrum, and it's difficult to reach that entire spectrum if you're a vendor. So we just do the best we can. We work a lot with HIMSS, we work with other trade groups, we do a lot of webinars, we do YouTube, we just try to do everything we can to reach out, and that's a similar experience the whole market is having.
Sure.
Cloud computing, I think people have a concern like they used to have about the internet 10 years ago, which is, well, what if it doesn't work? What if it goes down? And I think cloud-based computing is actually more reliable because of the industrial strength infrastructure behind it, certainly for Emdeon. So we recently spent about $25 million on a brand new data center, state-of-the-art, fully redundant, and then we have a secondary data center that's our backup data center in Memphis, and then we have our hot and cold site data centers that are failover. So even though we're in the cloud, it doesn't mean that we're less mature than the two computers you would have in the corner running with half of an IT person trying to keep that stuff going. So the fact is that the cloud gives you this industrial strength infrastructure that you're just buying a slice of. It's kind of like the old time sharing back in the 70s and the 80s. So it's really not something to be afraid of, and I think we try to continually dispel the myth that it's not reliable, because it is, absolutely.